Hi there. My name is Emily Gabriel, and I'm here to introduce the Unity of the Triangle Health and Safety Team, also known as the Safety Squad or the Virus Busters. We are part of the Reopening Task Force, and we want to take this opportunity to let you know who we are, what we're up to, and what you can expect to hear from us. The group includes several health professionals as well as advisors in the field who, among other contributions, help us better understand the COVID-19 virus, risk, and recommendations. Unity of the Triangle staff, board, and this committee are committed to keeping our community both safe and connected. This task force in particular is working with staff and doing the nitty-gritty of regularly collecting and reviewing the latest CDC guidelines, WHO information, updates from Wake County, Duke, and other local health and safety numbers. With all of that input, we are also looking to organizations like Unity Worldwide and other local and national congregations as we are tasked with recommending how to stay safe when we get together. Once we have a handle on the how, and we are getting closer, we can begin to recommend a when, based on Unity's own phased plan. So, to answer the question, when are we going to reopen? I think the best answer that we have right now is not yet. If you're asking when will we be able to all be in the sanctuary together, holding hands for the peace song, the data tells us that a better answer for a while. That doesn't mean it's all or nothing, though. One key factor that will influence reopening will be when we see the number of cases in our state decrease steadily and when we feel we can meet in groups of various sizes with minimal risk. Unfortunately, at this time, the numbers in our state continue to increase, both in terms of cases, hospitalizations, and mortality. So, for those of us wanting to stay safe and looking to catch up, even if that means wearing masks and sitting 6 feet apart, there's hope. As North Carolina is in itself, us to consider groups inside the building of 10 or fewer and outside of the building of 25 or fewer. While we're exploring all of the options as to how we might be able to accomplish this safely while respectfully limiting the size of any meetings, I'm sure you can imagine there are a lot of details to consider. That's why this committee is currently meeting every week to review and digest information, to begin preparing for multiple scenarios by adding signs, determining sustainable cleaning protocols, deciding which supplies and PPE to add to the Unity shopping list, what to request of visitors, when to clean the bathrooms, how often to clean the bathrooms, and of course, hearing from you. So while we'll continue to keep you updated on any information and guidelines that comes out of this committee, in the next couple of weeks or so, we'll send out a survey congregation-wide to hear more about your thoughts on reopening the church building for various activities in ways that might keep us safe and connected and energized in our individual and collective growth. We'd also like to hear your thoughts on our current and virtual offerings, how those could be improved or expanded as we may be here for a little while. So once the survey information is complete, we'll be sharing results and next steps in a congregational meeting. This way we can share more about what we were thinking as a congregation and how that will impact our future moves. So look out for more information soon. Keep posted to your emails. Thank you overall, though, for your continued patience, your support, and all of the input you've provided thus far, for continuing to make Unity a special place to be. As you know, our virtual doors never closed. Our online doors are open and busier than ever. So while we are not together physically, the Unity calendar is full all week long of videos, youth activities, Zoom conversations, meditation opportunities, and of course, these incredible Sunday services, which bring us the music, message, and community, for which we are so grateful. So huge thanks to the staff and to the groups of volunteers who keep Unity running, and to you for creating a space where we continue to come together, guided by love, service, and personal transformation. Blessings to you all. Stay safe out there.
Hello. Hello. Hey, everybody. I'm here at Unity's virtual stage, and we're getting ready for another virtual open mic night. That one is scheduled for June the 18th, Thursday at 7 p.m. That's when we'll be streaming out the series of performances. If you'd like to participate, and I really encourage you to do that, send us a recording of you singing or playing, or singing and playing the song of your choice, and get that to us by Monday, June the 15th. You can send it to this address that I hope is showing below here. There are different ways of transferring large files like that. If you need any help, just send us a note and we'll sort of give you some advice. We had a lot of fun when we did the one in May, and I'm sure this one's going to be even more fun for both the performers and the audience as well. We're also going to have a Zoom after party like we did last time, and that was a lot of fun. So look for other announcements about this, and you'll be able to find the link to it on our calendar on our website, and we'll probably send out some other ways to make sure you can tie into the stream that we do that night. It's a lot of fun. Shows us we're all still connected. Shows us we like music, and we like to have a lot of fun doing that. So stay safe. Look out for us on June the 18th, Thursday evening, 7 p.m.
Good morning. We're very happy to be here again today. Today's an unusual day. We'll have a dialogue with Tim Smith as part of the Sunday talk. But I want to just invite you to explore in your own heart how you and I and everybody else you know might lend ourselves to the healing of this world. We feel that there are at least two pandemics going on in this country right now. One, the coronavirus, and the second one, of course, is racism, which is front and center. So we thought we would dedicate this service to addressing the second pandemic I mentioned. This service is a real chance for us to delve into the hearing of the suffering of others, and in hearing to begin the healing.
And I would like to just thank our beloved Tim Smith, our music director, for so graciously being willing to sit with us, open his heart, and be vulnerable. I'm sure you're going to find a lot for your soul as you listen to somebody who's willing to be himself and just express everything that is going through him. And we hold the highest for Tim and everyone in our community, from the African American folks that we so loved. And may you join in this frequency and vibration of love and compassion that I believe this service is going to be.
Thank you, Anna. Let's begin with music.
My Father, use a little mercy now. The the fruits of his labor may fall and rot here on the ground. His work is almost over. Pretty soon he won't be around. Oh, I love my father. He could use a little mercy now. Oh, my brother, use a little mercy now. To see my brother's a stranger to freedom. Yes, we've been shackled to the fears and doubt. For the pain he lives in, almost more than living will allow. Yes, I love my brother. He could use a little mercy now. Mercy now. Show a little mercy, yeah. Love for your brother. Everyone on one another. Ooh. Every living thing. Use a little mercy now. Only the hand of grace can end this race towards a mushroom cloud. Oh, the people in power, they'll do anything they can to keep us down, to keep the crown. And I love life, and life and love itself could use a little bit of mercy now. I'm telling you that all black lives could use a little mercy now. Oh, you know we don't deserve what we've been getting. Still we get that anyhow. We stand here in the balance between hell and hallowed ground. Every black life needs a little mercy now, now. I'm telling you, every living thing could use a little mercy now.
This country is experiencing two epidemics right now. One, of course, is the coronavirus, which much has been made of over the last several months. But it's also becoming very clear that we have been suffering for a long time through an epidemic of racism. And so it is up and center for this country, and actually for most of us who have feeling hearts. It is my hope that this country at some point will find a healing for the sickness that we have, that sickness of racism as well as for the coronavirus, that we will move into another phase. It seems to me in addressing racism, the first thing we should do is listen. This week we had a conversation with Tim Smith, our music director, and I would like to bring you Anna and my conversation with Tim. This will give you a chance to get a member of our community to express what he's going through, and in some way might bring us all insight into the African American experience. So let's listen. Today we're going to be talking with Tim Smith. Tim Smith is a music director at Unity of the Triangle and is legendary for his ability to bring people to their heart when he's singing. And Anna and I have been discussing what's been happening since George Floyd, but we thought it would be better to have a man who really knows it from the inside out. So that's why we've invited Tim here. So.
Yes, we just like to say, Tim, how much we appreciate you and how much we appreciate our African American congregants and members, and how much we appreciate the African Americans in our country. And may we have a conversation and a dialogue that can somewhat bring healing that I believe in my heart that's already started. So I want to say thank you for just being willing to sit here with us.
And for most people with as light a skin as I have, this is a good time to be listening. And so, Tim, we're pretty much going to give you the floor, and maybe we'll just ask a question or two. But maybe you'd just like to tell us how you're feeling these days.
How am I feeling is a really big question. I'm feeling a lot of different things. And that changes. It changes from one moment to the next. I'm feeling afraid. Up and down, tired, sometimes angry. Amidst all of it, I feel blessed.
Do you want to talk about the fear first?
Do I want to? Not really. No. Do I need to? Yeah, absolutely. It has to be talked about. And at the same time, what's to say? I'm afraid. It's real. I'm afraid for my physical safety. I'm afraid for my kids. I'm afraid, I think perhaps most of all, of losing my faith in humanity.
Does it feel, Tim, as if there was some sort of wound that has been open? Because I think it's deeper than just, when something outside triggers something that's been sitting there and that now is like coming out to the surface. Is that how it feels?
Yeah, to the first question about a wound that's being reopened, it's never been healed, and that's the issue. It's an open wound. It's not only never been healed, but it has continued to be picked at, pried and clawed open, and shot and stabbed and raped and murdered.
So the feeling is almost like overwhelmed, right? Like, what else? I can't cope anymore. Is that like the feeling of really like peaking?
Yeah, it's you talked last week about the serenity to accept the things you cannot change, and this is not that. This is not a time for serenity or acceptance. This is a time for courage and change. In fact, it's way, way past time.
So in that sense, you feel empowered that?
No,
No.
not at all. I feel that George Floyd was just a voice that finally some people have heard.
Yes.
The voices have been crying out for 400 years.
With this sense of vulnerability and this sense of unfairness, I guess is the lightest way I could say it. It's very difficult, I think, to translate the depth of the experience to people who have lived in another world. But if you were to do that, what would you like to start off by saying anyway?
There are so many perspectives, different perspectives, and I can't speak to them all. I have never been able to. I don't claim that. I know from my own perspective that this is real. I understand that there are perspectives. You may be somebody who doesn't see it, who doesn't feel it, and doesn't live it on a daily basis. And maybe it's hard for you to believe that it's real. I can tell you it's real. There are millions of people of all colors and all faiths in the streets right now telling you that it's real.
And you know what I feel like saying to you? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I'm so grateful that you have the courage to just be vulnerable here. And it speaks to, even though you might not see it right now, but it speaks to your courage to change, to be part of a change. So I really see your courage. And I guess that by you and knowing New somehow sensitive he is, and how sensitive people from our community are, because we love you so much and you're part of what we do here every Sunday, it's just showing me something that I had never been exposed to at this level, to realize the depth of this pain and the hurt, you know? So I believe in my own personal life that many times you have to hit bottom in order to just shift. And this might be the time where you're like facing everything at once and saying, I'm fearful, I don't get it. But it's the beginning of change and transformation. And it sucks.
I'm not so sure that we're asking you to change, obviously, but that the world to change. You know, I grew up here. I have seen this my whole life. And I do think you're absolutely right. It's time for change.
It is. It clearly is. And I realize this may feel a little bit like preaching to the choir. You know, a lot of us are unity, and that means that we know, we understand that God is in every one of us.
Yes.
We understand and we know that Black lives matter,
Mm-hmm.
and brown lives matter,
Mm-hmm.
and LGBTQ lives matter.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, maybe some of us are not unity. Maybe some of us don't fully realize that or accept it, or I don't know. What can we do? What can I do? What can you do? What can we do to change this? I don't have answers.
But spirit does, Tim. And you know, I'm sitting here on this other corner, and I just had this thought. You know, this is a weekday, and we're sitting here, fully open to listen to you, experience your pain together, and it's like a gift that the world has stopped for us to really look. You know, it's like this whole pandemic has triggered a sequence of processes that were like put underneath the carpet that we just cannot live there anymore.
That's an interesting point. You bring up the pandemic.
Yeah.
So we've been learning that COVID-19 affects most gravely,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
those people with existing conditions, such as you know, heart problems or diabetes or asthma and other things. What we've been forced to realize is that America has a pre-existing condition known as racism,
Right.
and one known as hatred.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. It's the confluence of the pandemic and George Floyd's killing and Breonna Taylor. And there's a whole lot of other names that we don't even know.
I was thinking of Martin Luther King Jr. Driving over this morning. How would he be feeling witnessing all of this? And thinking, it's definitely something is moving. I'm a hopeful person. I believe in that one power, one presence. And I know that it's always looking to express itself. And I really believe that we are about to start a new era in humanity. But that before we do that, we just need to clear and purify all this ancestral baggage, because it really feels beyond us. It's like generations
That's clear. I wore this shirt today because this is my father's shirt. What would Martin Luther King think? I can't speak for him, but I think he'd be furious. I think he'd be enraged.
But being a man of faith,
So that's being a man of faith. He's still a man.
right?
And it's been a long time.
And it's been a long time. Listen to what he said when he was alive. How do we think he would feel now? 50 years later, we're still dealing with the same stuff. Only now it's worse because some people can say, oh, that doesn't even exist.
Mm-hmm.
You can pretend it doesn't exist. I can't pretend it doesn't exist. I don't have that luxury. I don't have that privilege.
It has to come out for. I mean, I read the other day in a Instagram post. You have to feel it in order to heal it, and I'm sure this is what this whole George Floyd. I see him, like I don't know, in my own mind, like how he probably made this pact that he was going to just offer up his life for a cause. A regular guy, that overnight became like an icon, just to untap and get it out there once and for all.
That's, as a person of faith, I feel like I'm being asked to stand quietly while my people continue to be murdered brutally. And I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. And no, I'm not going to stand quietly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm asking you, I don't care who you are and what color you are or what race or religion or anything. It doesn't matter. I'm asking you, listen when people are crying out for help. Don't make excuses about what else needs to be fixed or what other problems there are, or so-and-so is trying to get you to think such and such, or listen. And then no, you don't have to remain silent either. You can talk to people. You can share your opinions and your experiences. We can't do this alone.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you, Tim. I think the bizarre thing is that the source of the problem, this is my take, maybe this is inaccurate, but it seems like the source of the problem is not Black people, it's white people. And the source of the solution has to at least come from the white people who recognize there's a problem. And if we don't do something, then inadvertently, we are allowing more of it to happen. And I wish to take no power away from the oppressed, but the oppressors need to govern themselves much more strongly. I just think it's impossible without that shift in the white mind to bring a healing to this situation.
Yeah, I think so.
Tim, you're doing a good job of expressing the pain. Do you feel like there's more? I know there's a lot more. Do you feel like saying any more around that?
I'd like to say the names of just a few of the people who've lost their lives. Javier Ambler, Stephen Clark, Atatia Jefferson, Eric Harris, Emmett Till, Walter Scott, Tamir Rice, Laquan McDonald, Michael Brown, John Crawford III, Eric Garner, Alton Sterling, Keith Lamont Scott, Manuel Ellis, Trayvon Martin, Oscar Grant, Maurice Gordon, Freddie Gray, Philando Castile, Anton Rose, Breonna Taylor, Sandra Bland, Rodney King. How many more names have we never even heard of? How many more?
Yeah. And from my point of view, I think one of the things that that it is incumbent upon white people to do, and that is to educate themselves about the conditions that we have forced a large part of our population to live in for the last 401 years. And we have allowed this to go on, or we have to some degree tried to stop it, or we have been part of the problem. But collectively, as the majority, we should make an enormous effort to reverse what has been happening for this time period, for that long time period. And as Anna said, I think the first thing we can say is, I'm sorry. And then we should get about doing something about it. So I appreciate you watching today. We'll have more dialogues in the future, and we'll also have more dialogues on this. I hope that as this pandemic and this racist pandemic continues to be in the forefront, that we let it touch us and change us, and that we become a deeper, wiser, more compassionate community, not just the little community we call unity, but the world community that we live in, that we might become the Christ of our generation, the people who know themselves as the divine and see it in every face. May this is my prayer. May it be true for you, and may it be true for me. Thank you, Tim, for being here. I really appreciate it.
I know we cannot hug, but if we could, I would be next to you, and may you feel our love and our compassion at this moment. And thank you so much for being here with us today. We love you and we bless you, and we behold the Christ in you.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
I want to again thank Tim for his vulnerability with us. And I would like to use the amazing amount of heartfelt expression he gave us as the introduction to this prayer. So let us pray. As we move into the center of our own being, into our own hearts, let us feel what it's like to know the suffering of another. To know what it's like to feel at danger, to know what it's like to feel discriminated against, to know what it's like to lose when you should be winning. And having felt their suffering to some degree, let us open our hearts more deeply now and send the whole African American community love. May we hold them in our hearts in the special way we hold those who are suffering. Hold them with kindness and tenderness. Recognize our common humanity. Let no person is an island. no group is really other. That it is love and it is the divine that binds us all together. That though the surface may be different, the core is always the same. We all want happiness. We all want love. And we will all want to succeed. May our hearts and our minds be so clear and so strongly focused that the love and our intention for a healing of our country, a healing of our relationships, a healing of our own souls, come about with great swiftness and completeness, and that we move rapidly toward a world that works for everyone. This is our prayer, our intention, and our hope. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you for sharing this space with all of us this morning and for all you do and all you give to our community. Today, besides our giving, our donation, our love offering, I would like to encourage you to do a deeper giving. We have a 7-day challenge, 7-week challenge in which we are encouraging you and everybody from our community to hold each day some prayer time of 8 minutes and 46 seconds to just be open-hearted, hold sacred space with this affirmation or idea that we're standing together with the African American community, that we are acknowledging, we're saying, I am the catalyst for change, and I already envision complete healing of the soul of America. Please do it every day for 7 days, and let's just open up to the flow of light and transformation that is waiting on us to just claim it. Thank you so much for all you do and all you are. And so it is. Amen.
Rockets, moonshots, spend it all, have nots, money, we make it, for we see it, or you take it, or make me wanna holler the way they do my life, yeah, make me wanna holler the way they do my life. This ain't living, this ain't living. No, no, baby, this ain't living. No, no. Inflation, no chance to increase finance. Bills pile up, sky high. Send that boy off to die. Yeah, make me wanna holler the way they do my life. You make me wanna holler the way they do my life. Da 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 da. Hang-ups, let down, bad breaks, setbacks, natural fact is I can't pay my taxes. Oh, make me wanna holler, throw up both my hands. Make me wanna holler, throw up both my hands. Increasing, policing. Panic is spreading. God knows where this pandemic is heading. Oh, make me wanna holler, throw up both my hands. Make me wanna holler, throw up both my hands. They don't understand. They don't understand. Mother, everybody thinks we're wrong. Who are they to judge us? Simply 'cause our hair is long.
We know that prayer builds spiritual muscle and spiritual antibodies and promotes healing. So I encourage you to have a prayer life during this time, particularly when you have an opportunity to go deeper and deeper. So as we hold these prayers in names in the prayer box, let us pray. In the sanctity of the heart, we allow divine love to bubble up within us and expand beyond us. Feeling the tenderness of the divine, we enfold every name in this prayer box, as well as all the first responders and those in service during the pandemic, in this eternal and unending love. In the midst of uncertainty, we know with certainty that we are never alone, for the love, grace, and guidance of the divine is our constant companion, meeting every need at the time of the need. We affirm love heals, strengthens, and sustains us. With faith as our beacon, we find peace, comfort, and strength in God, for the miracle-working power of infinite love is working in and through us right now. We rest in the knowing that we are spiritually whole and full of grace, and so we let it be. Amen.
I'm glad you could be with us today. If you want to hear more about this conversation, you can check out Friday's dialogue, the one that just passed. Tim has more to say there, and we continue the conversation.
And I highly encourage you to do the 7-day challenge this week and hold the highest for the world and for our country. We are the ones, and this is the time. And then see you next week for Father's Day. Have a great, great week.
Let this be the
The light of God surrounds us.
I am the light of God.
The love of God enfolds us.
I am the love of God.
The power of God protects us.
I am the power of God.
And the presence of God watches over us.
I am the presence of God.
Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.